Good morning there. It's almost like the moon, so pale. But a few moments ago it was even hardly distinguishable because of the thick haze, the fog. And now the light is getting clearer and is unveiled. The sun is unveiled. There it is, even casting a reflection on the lake. It's a gradual process. A gentle process. There's a lot of gentleness in nature. These trees are so proud and strong, but they grew from a very tiny little plant, a little shoot coming out of a seed in the ground nobody sawed. These bigger trees even, all growing in their own time. A process, step by step. And we're all growing the same way. Even the process of aging. Little by little. Days don't get added on like days, they get added on by the minute and by the hour, by the second, slowly. Good morning, everybody. This is becoming the feature here that people come down to see the sunrise. So COVID started 2 years ago in March and we had opened in November. And I wonder how many came out for the sunrise that early. Each one with their own thoughts. Oh, I must show you around here. Look, yesterday, remember all the kids that were here in all the tents, and I don't see a scrap of garbage. Isn't that wonderful? That these kids left everything very clean. Imagine you had 50 kids camping here yesterday morning with all their excitement and everything. I see one little spot over here, but it might have been them, it might not have been them. That little white tissue. But basically, not a trace. It's one of the mottos of nature parks around the world that there's not a trace. You don't, what you bring in, you take out. Good morning. We're doing a live stream here. Where are you from?
New York.
New York, we heard of that place. You find it funny. Your first night here in Magla?
Actually, it was my third night here.
Your third night. You with the group?
Yeah, Duran.
Oh, with Doran.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can tell him that he missed the sunrise this morning and you saw it.
I'll let him know.
Okay, very good. With greetings. God bless you. Do you know all the story of that couple sitting down there on that bench? How many people have their story in God's presence? Everybody has their story. Ah, I don't know why. Somebody here was watching the sunrise stroll and chat, and they're getting a dark screen. Can somebody here tell me if that's true? I see Let me see here. I think you guys are seeing, aren't you? So maybe it's something on their camera. Maybe you just want to restart. Nobody made any comment, so the people are writing in a lot of comments. Do you see comments?
No.
Okay, so there must be some. I would suggest you turn it off and restart it. And could you hear sound?
I can hear you, yeah.
Ah, okay.
And Dennis can't get it on his phone.
Interesting.
Either.
That's strange, isn't it? I really don't know the explanation.
Okay.
Why don't you ask this lady over here? Just check with her. Because she also is following, I think. It's interesting, there are even people here on the beach following the sunrise stroll and chat. Good morning.
Morning.
Top of the morning to you.
Good
morning. So people, let's look at the readings today. Let's look at the readings. Just give me a second here. This bird isn't happy that I'm stopping here. And I don't know why. Just bear with me a second, people. Hey, what's going on here? No, I can't find the reading here. I don't have the text. But it's an Isaiah reading, I remember that. It's telling me all the time, oh, there it is, but it's not opening. Wow, wow, wow. It's telling me it's not opening. I thought I had it. Okay. Well, that's a pity. So I don't have the readings in my hands, people. And I had intended to read a little bit here. But everything is kind of blocked here with the internet. I don't know what's going on. And what I remember from the text is that it's very similar to yesterday's content. And even though we're reading from Isaiah in the first reading, it's also about restoring life. It's about an attitude of redemption. I wonder how I can get into the text. Somehow I think I'm going to have to do without it, unless somebody else can get it for me. Let me try that. I'm going to see if somebody else can pull up the text. But I'm failing to do that. But we're still in John chapter 5, and we're going to be reading John now mostly in the gospel text from now until Holy Week. And also in Holy Week, we have a lot of John's Gospel, the Passion, on Good Friday. And in John's Gospel, we have very evident the dramatic conflict of Jesus with the religious leaders of his people. It comes to a head in a very powerful way. What's present in all the synoptics as well, and knowing that John's Gospel is later, then it takes time for this to, obviously with reflection and pondering, and it's cast in very, very strong terms. And the pressure is coming in on Jesus. He continues his mission. And I'd like to make a comment in general about John's Gospel here. You don't have any image? I wonder if other people are having this. Maybe it's a problem with our internet here in Magdala. But I'm able to transmit, so I'm sure. Are you able to see it? You're not able to see it. Are you able to go to readings? Can you go to the readings? Okay. go here. Just hit this link here. Let's see what happens. Web page not available. Wow, I'm having the same problem. Okay, we just can't do it. Oh, I have another idea. I can go to the sacristy and get it there. But as I go over there, let me tell you the following. So, I have met a doctor of theology who, I met him very briefly. I don't remember his name. I met him at Tantur, which is the big interfaith ecumenical center of the Notre Dame University in Indiana, which is here in Jerusalem, and just before the entry to Bethlehem from Jerusalem. And this man did a major study of the term Jews in John's Gospel. And you know, you have a little bit like the situation in American politics. Sometimes a candidate for presidency campaigns against Washington. Why? Because Washington, in a certain sense, symbolizes all the power, and sometimes power can get stagnant or be in a status quo situation. It's very hard to bring about great change. And so then a politician from elsewhere in the country might campaign against the bureaucracy, against the establishment, and there can be a hostile attitude against Washington. And Washington still remains the capital and all the good people living there, but it requires a very negative aura. And a little bit, I think it's a little bit analogical to that, what's happening in John's Gospel. These are Galileans, and they're looking at Jerusalem. Also, the Essenes were very critical of the corruption at the temple leadership. There was great discontent, and so there was a lot of animosity towards Jerusalem. And Jerusalem obviously was the dominant reality in Judea, impression-wise at least, especially from a distance. So the people who were, for the Galileans, the Judeans were the ones living in Judea and Jerusalem. I'm just going to go in here to the sacristy to get my text, okay? So you can come with me, it's okay. I hope everything is in order here. Oops, I need my key. Just bear with me here. So I'm going to bring you in here for a second, and then I can get a text here. If there's one here, oh yeah, there's one here, right here. The Daily Missal. And there we can find, here you can see other books in different languages. Polish. There's even Latin up there. And you have all these Asian languages here. And you have Tagalog for the Filipinos, Lithuanian. There's a Croatian one there, I think. Hrvatski, Croatian, Slovensky for Slovenia. And here we have Arabic. We even have a Hebrew language New Testament right there. And others. So just let me close this now. And then we have other languages over here, just so you can see. Italian there, German, Portuguese, Spanish, and then all the missals of Magdala in the different languages. So you get a little peep inside our sacristy here. So I'm sorry about these technical challenges we have this morning. So then in the language, when we see that the Jews cried out, "Crucify him," it's like the Judeans did that. The Judeans cried out. And it wasn't that there weren't some people in Galilee against Jesus. We saw that. We see that in the Synoptic Gospels as well. But the language of John's Gospel then is very powerfully anti-Jew as a term in this sense, because it portrays that hostility, that disposition. Nowadays, when we say the word Jew, we mean all the 12 tribes, and really was just the tribe of Judah. So it's an interesting reflection. I'm not sure how later scholarship has followed up on those insights, but I think it has become a pretty established approach to John's Gospel. So when you hear those words, then let's cradle them in understanding and prayer. And now we're in the 4th week of Lent. I'm opening up the missal here. You see, you can see what I'm doing actually as well if you want. I just placed it here. And today we have, this must be today. This is Wednesday, correct. So here I have the reading from Isaiah. Thus says the Lord, in a time of favor I answer you, on the day of salvation I help you. And I have kept you and given you as a covenant to the people, to restore the land and allot the desolate heritages. Isn't that exactly what Ezekiel yesterday described in much more graphic terms when he described the water coming out from the temple and going down through the Judean desert to the Dead Sea? And he was bringing back life. The grace of God bringing back life in the desert. And here that's Ezekiel, and here we have Isaiah, who's very similar land. It's very similar language. I will restore the land and allot the desolate heritage, saying to the prisoners, come out, to those in darkness, show yourselves. Along the ways they shall find pasture. You know, you walk through the desert, most of the time there's zero pasture visible. They shall not hunger or thirst, nor shall the scorching wind or the sun strike them. They will guide them beside springs of water. He who pities them leads them. He will cut a road through all my mountains and make my highways level. They will come from far, from north and south and east and west. So here we have this also exact same view and vision of the work of salvation, the gift of God's mercy and grace. And that's marvelous. You weren't able to get any more image.
Pardon me?
You weren't able to see anything more. I'm sorry about
This
that.
lady over here could not get on either.
Yeah, I'm happy. I was actually worried this morning because I had problems finding, getting pages opened on my phone. And then I actually had the doubt that maybe I wouldn't be able to transmit this morning, but thanks be to God I'm able to transmit. So I'm not sure what the syndrome
I
is.
think it might have been the Wi-Fi. Cause,
Yeah, but I'm not on Wi-Fi, I'm on data.
yeah, okay.
Then we moved to data.
And we moved the data and needed.
I'm on data right now, yeah.
Are you still talking?
Yes, we're still live. But it's good because the people hear the challenge we have.
Yeah.
So that's okay, they understand. And the good thing is we are communicating and the people are responding. For example, they made comments here about the good condition in which the children left, the high school kids, they left that's today, and you have a picture there. Now you have a picture.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, there you're live. Isn't that funny? Gosh, these people became live. So this is just like the text. It says that what's desolate will come to life. So now you have your connection again.
Yeah. Okay, I'll talk to you later.
Okay, so we're back on track, people, here with at least some of the technology for some of the people. I don't know what it is. It's amazing, really, isn't it, that we're all dependent on these satellites up there and we're all connected. And if that fails, I really shiver for the hospitals and the places of emergency first help for everybody. And it's the major supplies, the provision of power and all those things are so all controlled by computer remote control processes today. So as much as we've technologically advanced, we've also become very dependent on each other, which is wonderful in a way because we really need each other. So here we're then with this reading from Isaiah. We have this great word of hope. And the thought came to me pondering this morning, last night. You know, in a certain sense, we're made in the image and likeness of God. So to that extent, then, we are also called to be great messengers of hope. Messengers of encouragement. And we do go through rough moments and difficult moments, and humanity does, and families do. I'm thinking of one particular family today that is at the second anniversary of a major loss in their family of their son. And it's very painful, very bitter, and they really need the Lord's consolation and strength. And there are many, many people like this, going through very difficult moments. And the Lord gives us hope. The Lord renews us. He carries us. And new growth comes out between the rocks, the hard rocks, the hard places. And there's new growth, new promise of new life. This is so wonderful how God is a creator and He creates anew. He recreates us, He redeems us. This is the great message. So let us be also redeemers of others. Let us lift them up and give them that encouragement. Celebrate every little step that they grow like each child. And each of us, we're all growing in that process, that gradual process. People, thank you today for joining us. Or thank you for joining us today. God bless you. See you later, alligators. Just looking for my little control here. There we go.